Long before the age of pharmacies and prescription pads, people healed themselves with simple remedies passed down through countless generations. Remedies that worked so well they kept whole families alive through times far harder than ours. And here's the fascinating part. Many of these old cures were not mere superstition. They held real, genuine power, so much so that some of our most important modern medicines were born directly from them. Yet somewhere along the way, in the rush toward the new and the patented, these humble, effective remedies were largely set aside and forgotten. Today, I am going to walk you through 8 ancient remedies with real wisdom behind them, the kind your great-grandparents trusted completely. Now let me be honest and careful with you right from the start, the way a true friend would. These old remedies are wonderful for the small troubles of everyday life, and many have genuine science behind them. But they are companions to good medical care, never a replacement for it. They are not cures for serious illness, and they are not a reason to ignore a doctor when you truly need one. The wisest path has always been to honor the old knowledge and the new together. So with that understanding firmly between us, let me share 8 time-tested remedies the modern world too quickly forgot. What unites them all is something remarkable, that they were proven not in a single study, but across thousands of years and millions of lives, the longest test any remedy could ever face. We begin with willow bark, perhaps the most remarkable example of all, because this humble tree bark is quite literally the origin of one of the most famous medicines in the world. For thousands of years, healers from the ancient Greeks onward chewed or brewed the bark of the willow tree to ease pain and bring down fevers. They had no idea why it worked, only that it did, reliably, for generation after generation. Centuries later, scientists studied that very bark, isolated its active compound, and from it created aspirin. So the next time you reach for a pain reliever, remember that its true ancestor was a strip of bark from a tree by the river, a remedy our ancestors trusted long before any laboratory existed. It is the perfect example of what this whole video is about, that the old knowledge was not foolish at all, but the very foundation that modern medicine was quietly built upon. The second forgotten remedy is honey, nature's golden medicine, used to treat wounds since the days of the ancient Egyptians and beyond. For thousands of years, healers spread honey onto cuts, burns, and sores, and modern science has confirmed they were absolutely right to do so, because honey has genuine natural properties that help guard a wound and support healing. In fact, special medical-grade honey is used in hospitals to this day for certain stubborn wounds. A spoonful of raw honey has also long been treasured for soothing a sore throat and calming a cough, and research supports that humble use too. Few remedies are as sweet, as ancient, and as genuinely effective as a simple jar of good honey. One gentle word of caution, though, honey should never be given to babies under 1 year old, but for the rest of us, it remains one of nature's most trusted gifts. Third, we have garlic, the pungent little bulb that ancient civilizations from Egypt to Greece treasured as both food and powerful medicine. The workers who built the pyramids were fed garlic for strength, and healers across the ages used it to ward off all manner of ills. Modern study has taken garlic seriously, finding that the compound formed when you crush a raw clove has real value for the heart and circulation, and may help the body fend off the small invaders behind a common cold. Our grandparents kept garlic close and used it freely, and they were wise to do so. 1 crushed clove a day, folded into your food, is one of the oldest and most respected remedies in the world. The trick our grandparents knew instinctively is to crush it and let it rest a few minutes before using, which allows that beneficial compound to fully form. The fourth remedy is ginger, the warming root that has been trusted for thousands of years to settle a troubled stomach, and one whose effectiveness modern science has firmly confirmed. Sailors chewed it against seasickness, and expectant mothers and the unwell have long sipped ginger tea to calm queasiness and nausea. Research now shows clearly that ginger genuinely helps with nausea, sometimes within the hour, which is about as close to instant as a natural remedy gets. A few slices of fresh ginger steeped in hot water with a little honey is a remedy older than most nations and as reliable today as it ever was. This is old wisdom that has stood every test the modern world could throw at it. When a remedy survives thousands of years and then passes the scrutiny of modern science with flying colors, that is a remedy worth keeping close. Number 5 is peppermint, the cool, refreshing herb that ancient peoples used to ease the discomforts of digestion, a use that holds up beautifully to this day. After a heavy meal, when the stomach feels tight and bloated, a cup of peppermint tea has brought relief for countless generations, because the menthol within it helps relax the muscles of the digestive tract. Modern research supports peppermint's genuine value for digestive comfort. Beyond the stomach, simply breathing in its bright, clean scent has long been used to clear the head and sharpen a tired mind. Simple, pleasant, and genuinely effective, peppermint is exactly the kind of gentle, reliable remedy the old world understood so well. Growing a little mint on your windowsill means this comforting remedy is always just a few fresh leaves away. The sixth forgotten remedy is the simple salt water gargle, one of the oldest and most humble cures there is, and one doctors still recommend to this day. For thousands of years, when a sore, scratchy throat set in, people reached for nothing more than warm water and a little salt, swishing and gargling to bring relief. And it genuinely works, helping to soothe the irritated throat and ease discomfort. It costs almost nothing, requires only 2 things you already have in your home, and has comforted the ailing across every culture and every century. In our age of expensive remedies, it is worth remembering that one of the most effective throat soothers ever known is sitting in your salt cellar right now. No fancy packaging, no clever marketing, just warm water and a pinch of salt, exactly as it has been for thousands of years. Number 7 is apple cider vinegar, a folk remedy with a history stretching back to ancient times, when even early physicians used vinegar for various ailments. Our grandparents reached for a spoonful in water as a daily tonic, believing it aided digestion and overall well-being. While we should be careful not to overstate its powers, as folk traditions sometimes did, there is genuine interest today in the way a little apple cider vinegar may help with digestion and blood sugar balance after meals. A small amount well diluted in water has been a trusted homestead remedy for generations. Just be sure always to dilute it well, because it is quite acidic, and treat it as the gentle old tonic it is. It is also wise to rinse your mouth with plain water afterward, since the acidity, taken neat or too often, can be hard on the teeth, which is the kind of small, sensible caution the best old remedies always deserve. And finally, the 8th, bone broth, the deeply nourishing remedy that every traditional culture on Earth seemed to discover independently, simmering bones slowly for hours to draw out their goodness. For thousands of years, a warm cup of broth was the first thing offered to the sick, the weak, and those recovering from illness, and there was deep wisdom in it. That long, slow simmer releases collagen, minerals, and nourishment that comfort and support the body when it most needs gentle care. Grandmothers around the world swore by a healing pot of broth, and modern appreciation for it has rightly returned. Few remedies are as ancient, as universal, or as quietly restorative as a simple mug of homemade bone broth. That nearly every culture on Earth, with no contact between them, arrived at the very same healing pot of broth tells you something profound about how well it truly works. Now let me speak gently to those of you caring for someone you love. Perhaps you are tending to an aging parent, a sick child, or a weary spouse, and you wish you had the simple, trusted know-how that earlier generations seemed to carry so easily. I see you, and I want you to know that these old remedies are a beautiful part of caring for the people we cherish. A warm mug of ginger tea for a queasy stomach, a spoonful of honey for a scratchy throat, a pot of nourishing broth for someone run down and weak, offered with patient and loving hands, are acts of care as old as humankind itself. There is comfort in them that goes beyond the remedy, the comfort of being tended to, of being looked after by someone who cares. That, too, is a kind of medicine. So often what the body and the spirit need most in a hard moment is not something complicated, but something warm, simple, and offered with love, and these old remedies carry exactly that kind of comfort. But honesty and care require that I say this very plainly. These ancient remedies are wonderful for the small, everyday discomforts of life, but they are not a replacement for professional medical care, and they are never a reason to delay seeing a doctor when something is truly wrong. A sore throat soothed by salt water is one thing, but a high fever, a wound that will not heal, severe or lasting symptoms, or any serious illness needs proper medical attention without delay. Some remedies can also interact with medications or conditions. So if you take medicine or manage a health issue, check with your doctor or pharmacist first. The old healers were wise, and the wisest among them used every tool available. We should do the same, honoring the ancient and the modern together. So the next time you feel a small ailment coming on, before you reach for something off a store shelf, remember the quiet power of the remedies your great-grandparents trusted. The willow bark that became aspirin, the honey that heals a wound, the ginger that settles a stomach, the simple salt water that soothes a throat. This was real knowledge, hard-won and passed down with love, that worked for countless generations long before modern medicine existed, and much of it works still. It was never truly lost, only set aside and forgotten in our rush toward the new. It is all still here, waiting in your kitchen and your garden to serve you exactly as it served the ancients. Reach for the old wisdom when it fits, lean on good doctors when you need them, and stay with me, because the healing knowledge of the old world still has so much to offer those willing to remember it.